Hi, I thought of a visual metaphor that very painfully, nicely summarizes how I've been feeling this beginning of the year. A year that feels like it started years ago, just years ago, when we look at what's happening in the world. And I wanted to share with you because maybe it resonates. Maybe this is how you've been feeling as well, or even increasingly feeling it. And it's actually something very simple, but it comes with a different kind of feeling in the nervous system of how that interconnectedness, right? Which is a very simple, obviously very obvious concept, like, oh, isn't everything sort of interconnected? Yes, things don't happen in a vacuum, like I know, but it feels, for me at least, like it feels very different. It feels increasingly heavier in the body, in the nervous system. And the metaphor that came to my mind are multiple strings. And since I'm the one seeing them, how they relate to me as well, right? So just multiple strings and how they interconnect, and I'm standing there in the middle, sort of observing. One more recent string is that Alex Pretty, who was killed by ICE, he was 37. I turned 37 today. Then tomorrow, one day after my birthday, it's the anniversary of the killing, of the Israeli army's killing of Hind Rajab and her family. Right, when her car was stuck there in Gaza, and Hind called already to the paramedics and said, my family members have been killed, there's a tank, help. We know how the story ended, with Hind and the paramedics being killed by the Israeli army. That happened on the 29th of January. Bad Bunny just had some concerts in Chile where he honored Victor Jara, who was a Chilean poet, singer, who was tortured and killed in the same stadium by Pinochet's regime, right? reminding us what fascist regimes do to poets. We look at Hind, we are reminded what fascist regimes do to children. They shoot, they release 335 bullets from up close to a car where children are. Rise of fascism now, all these strings seem kind of painful. Everything's interconnected. All these strings, right, going from back in time to the future, and just, how we imagine the fabric of life, maybe even. And this is where I thought two things. One, how do I want to live my life? Do I want to live my life trying not to touch these strings, trying not to be in the middle, just bowing down and avoiding being in the world, avoiding knowing history, avoiding knowing what's happening, because it's painful when you touch that string? Or do I want to accept it in a way and stand up? And when I stand up, I might touch the strings, but I'm not going to live my life bowing down. And another thing was, well, yeah, there are all these strings, of history, what's happening now, but we too, we're not only observers sort of standing there in the middle, we are also creating, and we are contributing, and we're creating, weaving, to extend the metaphor, some kind of a string as well, right? In some kind of a direction. We're creating it now, we're weaving it now. So we're not just passive observers. And then obviously the question is, what is the string you're creating? Towards what are you weaving it, with whom, and so on, right? A simple idea that we have agency and have some choices, and we have hopefully community around us as well. And we have things that we care about. We have things that we do not tolerate. We have things that we say, not on our watch. We have things that we say, this is too important not to do anything, and so on. But so the question is then, what do we do? How do we show up? How do we choose to show up? Do we feel brave enough, and do we empower ourselves then to actually take a look at what's happening, what has happened, where we're going, where we might be going, where we don't want to go, and so on. So it's a simple metaphor. A message that I wanted to share with you today is not new. It's not even new compared to what I've been recording before. But I think especially now, once again, if you're watching this still in January or whatever month, I am thinking I would take any metaphor that can encourage me and that can embolden me and that can give me some strength and just like a good reminder of like what we're doing and why we're doing it. Because there are so many very, very painful, very, very, very scary strings that we are touching at the moment. But we only touch them if we choose to live standing in the first place, right? So this is what's been on my mind. It's the clarity and the heaviness and the grief and the rage of seeing things being interconnected. But it's also an invitation, right? I think it's also an invitation to live our lives in a certain way, to show up in a certain way, to say, you know what, if I claim I have these values and these morals and I have this moral compass, then I should probably follow where the compass is pointing. Maybe slowly, maybe small steps, maybe lots of fear and doubt. Yeah. But at least I'm not ignoring it. And I'm not afraid of living standing up. Maybe it's a message that you needed to hear today. Maybe it's a message that your friends and loved ones would benefit from. So please share. Also know you're not alone if you're feeling the heaviness. I think we're never alone, obviously. And still sometimes reminders are needed. So here it is. So let's stay strong in this year that's both a continuation of certain horrors and then a new horrors on top. So let's stay strong, let's stay open, let's stay in community. That's it. Thank you so much, and I'll see you soon.